So what is crying tiger steak? If you're like me, you have no idea. And what do you do when you don't know what something is? You ask AI. So crying tiger steak, also known as suronghae, let's get this correct pronunciation. Suronghae is a Thai grilled steak dish originating from northern Thailand. It is typically made with brisket or steak. So those are two very different cuts of beef, brisket and steak. But it is served with a spicy, sweet, and sour dipping sauce called nam jim jiao.
Nam ching jiao.
Nam chim jiao. I know I'm butchering this, but nam chim jiao. The name is believed to refer to the sauce's spiciness, which is so intense that it can make a tiger cry. The dish is simple yet flavorful, featuring a marinated and grilled steak paired with a tangy and spicy sauce. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and the reason I'm doing this recipe is because I saw this on Monument Grill's website. If you've been following the channel, you know I have a Monument Grill's propane grill. Fantastic propane grill. I have a review video if you want to watch that. I also have a link in my description if you're interested in one, with a discount code as well. They had a recipe for this crying tiger steak and it looked really good, had some awesome flavors that I think I would like. Definitely going to be spicy, so we're going to be giving that a try today. Now I'm going to put a link to this recipe down below if you want to follow it as well. I'm not going to be doing it to a T because there is some ingredients that I do not have. Now for steaks, they say use a strip steak or a ribeye steak or any well marbled cut of steak. Now I'm a big ribeye fan. I'm not a fan of the strip steaks because if you're going to buy one of these, why not just get the ribeye? It's such a fantastic steak compared to the strip steak, my opinion. If you have something else to say, go ahead and leave a comment. But I decided to try both of these for this recipe, and the only reason I really decided to choose two different steaks is because I saw this strip steak at the store, and you can see how nicely marbled this is, so I had to pick it up. But I would probably just go with the ribeye or get myself two ribeyes, but the strip steak did look pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and give this a try with a strip and a ribeye. So the first step to this crying tiger steak is we got to make a marinade for these steaks, and with a strip and a ribeye, I usually never marinate these cuts of steak. I just give them a nice dry rub, sear them, reverse sear them, so many different options, but they usually don't need marinade. I save the marinade for cuts of steak that are a little more tough, something maybe like a skirt steak. That is perfect for a marinade. We're going to try this marinade out on the ribeye and the strip, so let's go ahead and get to making it. So since I have two cuts of steak, I'm probably going to go a little heavier on the measurements, but we want to do 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, and 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and also 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. I have avocado oil, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and a half a tablespoon of black pepper. Then you want 1 clove of minced garlic, and this is actually half a clove. This was a monster clove. Then we can go ahead, give this a little mix, and there's our marinade. I'm debating whether this is enough or not, but I think it's going to be fine because I'm going to vacuum seal this steak. We go ahead and throw our steaks in here, the ribeye and the strip steak. Now we'll get this marinade, give it a quick mix. I'm just going to pour it on top of each one. Give it a flip and then pour it on top the other side and just dump it all out, just so we have good coverage there. All right, now we're going to get these steaks in the WEVAC chamber vacuum sealer. This thing's fantastic. If you watched my most recent video, you saw me use it for jerky. All right, and there we are. 2 nicely vacuum sealed steaks. Now, if you were doing this just like say in a bowl or something, you might want a little more marinade. Probably not too big a deal actually, because I was able to easily cover both sides. So even if you had like a deep dish, throw these in, cover one side, cover the other, maybe flip them over every so often. Now the recipe says to marinate for at least an hour. Overnight is best, so I'm gonna do what's best. We're gonna overnight these. Then once they're done, I'm gonna grill them up hot and fast on my Monument Grill's propane grill. We're gonna make that namjim jiao, which is that spicy sauce. I'm looking forward to this, but we're gonna get these marinated overnight, but you don't have to wait. So let's go ahead, start making that sauce. Then when these are done, we're gonna grill them up, and this is going to be delicious. Start off with 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. All right, so I'm gonna go by the Marinade Grill's recipe, but some of these are gonna be a little more, a little less. We want 1 tablespoon of lime juice, and I'm just going to use 1 whole lime, and that's because the next ingredient is going to be a tamarind paste, which I don't know what that is, and I could not find it, but it says instead of tamarind paste, you could just substitute for more lime juice. That is what I'm going to be doing for this. So juice of 1 whole lime. Then we want a teaspoon of sugar. It says 1 to 2 Thai chilies diced up. This is not Thai chili, it's just a regular chili pepper that I actually grew, and I'm just using 1 small one. So I'm also going to add a little crushed red pepper to kind of bring the heat up a little bit, but those are super spicy, so I might just leave it how it is. Then it asks for a tablespoon of rice powder, toasted rice powder. Not doing that because I don't have it. But then a tablespoon of chopped cilantro and a tablespoon of green onions. Then it says optional, you can do a 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes. I'm gonna leave this like it is for now. If it needs a little more spice, I might add the chili flakes later, but for now I'm just gonna leave it with those chili I cut up because I know they're super spicy. I know this isn't the proper mixing tool, but it's working. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Ooh, wow, that is potent. Very fishy, not very fishy, but that fish sauce you could taste. Spicy, definitely doesn't need the chili flakes for this. Those chili peppers I used are definitely spicy enough, but I think that will go well with the steak and the marinade. I don't suggest just eating it like I did. I mean, it's good to get the flavors and everything, but it's strong. That is a potent flavor. You definitely need something like a steak to dip in there. So our dipping sauce is good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in the refrigerator, let everything kind of meld together, and the steaks are done marinating. Let's go out to the Monument Grill's propane grill. We're gonna get these steaks grilled up super nice. Then obviously let them rest. We'll come in here, slice them up, and try them with this sauce. But let's get out there and grill some steaks. All right, we are out at the Monument Grill's propane grill. This is a fantastic grill. You can see it's got this clear viewing window, which is nice. Let's go ahead and get these steaks cooking. Now I don't know if you can see, but you got your 4 burners. You can't see the 4th one over there, but 1, 2, 3, 4th one's over there. But then right here in the middle, it's got this broil zone, which is great for searing steaks, so we're going to be using that today. Now I've got it just a shy under full heat, and we're going to be cooking these to a medium rare. You can cook them to your liking. So let's go ahead and get this ribeye on. And then we will get this New York strip on here. And the marinade smells fantastic. So we're going to let these go probably 2 to 3 minutes aside. You got to watch out for those flare-ups. Got the oil in there, but flare-ups, they happen, and they add some great flavor. So we're going to go ahead and just let it be. After about a minute, maybe we'll give them a little twist. Now the Monument Grills, like I said, is a fantastic propane grill if you're looking for one. The prices are good, and with that broil zone, you can get a beautiful sear on a steak. I really enjoy using that broil zone, but I've cooked a lot of food on these things, and they're fantastic. Now I'm leaving the lid wide open because I'm just looking for a sear right now. These are probably getting pretty close. We're almost at the 2-minute mark, so it's still stuck to the grill, so I'm going to let it go a little longer. I usually don't like to pull them off till they're not stuck, so they can easily come up like that one is now. And there we go, just released. Let's take a look. Beautiful sear marks on that ribeye, so let's give that a flip. And we'll give that New York strip a flip as well. So that was about 2 minutes on that one side. Now I have my 2 burners to the left on low. So after we get good searing on both sides, if they're not up to the temp I like, I just scoot them over there, shut the lid, and get them up to around 125, 130, depending on what temperature you like. Medium rare, I like to pull at 125, 130. Sometimes I like to just press them down a little bit, just to get full contact. see that ribeye is really flaring up. That's all that fat in there. So we're coming up on another 2 minutes. We'll check them shortly. All right, let's go ahead and check this ribeye. It's released. Nice sear marks. I'm gonna let it go a little longer. Let's give it a twist. See, those sear marks could be a little better, so give that a twist. Get that little crosshatch pattern. Maybe do another minute and we'll check temp. All right, so these look pretty good. I'm gonna move these to the side here. We're gonna turn these burners off. See here, we're at 95 degrees on the New York strip. We are at 97 on the ribeye. So now that everything is off, I'm just gonna close this lid and let these come up to temp. All right, so about 3 more minutes. We're at 120 on this strip. We're about 122, 120, 120. So about 120 both on the ribeye. All right, so the camera died on me out there, but you saw the strip steak was at about 120 degrees. Ribeye was right about the same. So I pulled them off, let them rest for about half an hour or so, and here they are. And all I can say is they smell fantastic. That marinade smells so good. I'm super excited to give these a try. So I can't wait any longer. Let's go ahead and slice these up. All right, so we got the ribeye and the strip. Let's go ahead and slice this strip up first. Start slicing it this way. I'm just doing it on a little bit of a bias. Let's get that strip moved out and we will slice up this ribeye. Now, this one I just usually do a straight cut. Cut them pretty thick. 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. Now we're getting into that rib cap, which is the best part of the ribeye if you don't know. Whenever you're looking for a ribeye, make sure you get one with a nice big rib cap on it, because that is the best part of the steak. All right, so we got these cut up. Let's go ahead and take a look. Nice medium rare, medium to medium rare right there on the ribeye. See what we got on the New York. That's more of a medium, maybe medium well, but medium. All right, so I'm gonna try these by themselves without the dipping sauce first. So let's go ahead, try this New York strip first. That is good steak. The marinade comes through just a little bit. You still get some nice, good beefy flavor. Now the problem with the New York strips that I have, you have all this delicious meat here. You got this piece of fat and connective tissue. Fat's not a big deal because that's delicious. The connective tissue there between the two is chewy, and if you have a New York strip, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's the only reason I'm not a fan of the New York strip, whereas the ribeye, now this piece that I did take out of the ribeye does have some connective tissue, so you got to be careful on this side. You can see has some connective tissue there, but for the most part, I'm a fan of the ribeye, so let's give this a try. So the ribeye is more tender for sure. It also soaks up a little more of that marinade flavor. That is fantastic. Hands down, ribeye wins over the New York strip for sure. But that's obvious, you know, most people are gonna know that a ribeye is better than a New York strip. Some people like the strips more than the ribeye. I'm a ribeye guy. Let's go ahead and give this dipping sauce a try. And I'll start with the New York strip. I'm gonna use that piece I already bit. Yes, I'm double dipping, but this is my dip, so I don't really care. Let's see how this is. Wow, that changes the flavor completely. Get a little pop of the cilantro. The acidity from the lime is fantastic. A little bit of spice from that chili pepper. It's not as spicy as I thought when you dip the steak into it. That fish sauce really adds, I don't want to be, you know, that guy, but it adds that umami flavor. That is delicious. Let me go ahead and give it a shot with this ribeye. This is a great recipe, guys. Highly suggest this. Fantastic recipe. I'm gonna go back to this strip steak here again. Get some more of that sauce on there. The cilantro and lime. I'm a big fan of cilantro and lime, but with those Asian flavors, this is great. So you immediately get that fish sauce taste, which goes away pretty quick. You get the cilantro and lime right after that, and it really just brings out that delicious flavor of this steak. I am a huge fan of this dipping sauce. I didn't think I would add the red chili pepper flakes, but really not that spicy. I would throw in some chili pepper in there and make it a little more spicy. I think that would be good because like this is a crying tiger, right? It's supposed to make a tiger cry, supposedly. Not spicy enough if you want it on that level. I wouldn't expect that from something called crying tiger. But again, throw in some chili flakes and that might be a crying tiger sauce. Man, this sauce it's basically just an umami sauce with some delicious cilantro and lime. I love this stuff. It is fantastic. It really just brings like a nice freshness to the steak. This is a great recipe, guys. Highly suggest this. Great sear on the steak. It's got a beautiful crust, nice and crispy. That Monument Grills with that broil zone does a fantastic job on steaks. I love using my Monument Grills to grill steak just because of that reason. The marinade on these, great flavor, but that dipping sauce is where it's at. I'm telling you, give this a try. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link to this recipe. It's Monument Grills recipe down in the description below so you can get a step-by-step process, all the ingredient list and everything like that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe right over here. I'll leave my review video for the Monument Grills over there for you if you're interested in a new propane grill. And if you want a discount on a Monument Grills, be sure to check out the description. I will leave my coupon code for Monument Grills down there. This video is not sponsored by them. I just love Monument Grills and this recipe was fantastic. But most importantly, get out there and smoke or grill something good.